You are speaking to spiritual tokes right now. You are speaking to durag tokes. And I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I had no idea Tokes was one of those black guys. He's wearing a durag. Yes, I am black and I am wearing a durag, a velvet durag at that. And I've come to realize that most people in this country and most people on this planet have no idea why black folks wear durags on their head. In today's episode of Champagne Throttle, not only am I going to educate you without chopping your head off, I'm also going to talk crap on this demonic matrix that's keeping us divided with simple things like this. Are you ready to get started? Here we go. So if you're familiar with Champagne Throttle, you know that one of my favorite pastimes is playing vigilante and catching bad guys. I don't know what it is about it. It gets the blood flowing. That was my old life. I'm on a spiritual journey now. I'm trying to improve myself without the external world to assist me in that journey. But back when I did that, one of my favorite places to play vigilante was my local grocery store. I went there recently with this durag on my head, and I had a very different experience. Normally, when I walk into this grocery store, people are just smiling and like, oh, it's Toki. Hey, how you doing? I recently walked in that grocery store with this durag on my head, and people looked at me differently. Instead of the normal smiles and their eyes lighting up, they were like looking from they were looking from the side of their faces and stuff, because I don't know what happened, but it seems like fear overtook them. They were stricken with fear. They were stricken with terror that I was wearing a durag. They thought that I just switched sides like Avengers Civil War or something like that. They were like, oh shoot. Our greatest hero is now on the dark side. And this made me very, very curious. I started asking certain friends and people that are close to me, like, yo, why do people act so different around individuals, black folks in particular, that wear durags? And long story short, I figured out that most people have no idea why black folks wear durags. And another reason is because anytime they do see a black person wearing a durag in the media, he is some gangster, he is the killer, or he is a bad guy in said media. And I have a problem with that. And you should have a problem with that. Once again, this demonic matrix is keeping us divided. It's doing the best it can to keep us fearful and anxious. Do you really want to know why we wear durags? Do you really want to know? I'll show you. So all jokes aside, black folks wear durags for three main reasons. The very first reason is that our hair is not like anyone else's hair. Our hair is very difficult to deal with. Our hair has to be trained. Our hair starts out as very disobedient. We can't brush our hair or comb through our hair one morning and then have the same hairstyle stick for 48 hours. We weren't born with that luxury. We have to take more time to make sure that our hair stays moisturized. We have to make sure that we don't have hairs break off in the middle of our sleep. Another reason is that sometimes we don't have a fresh cut, or sometimes we don't feel like showing our hair off to the rest of the world. Sometimes our hairline might be moving back a little bit. Some of us are getting a little bit older, and we use the durag trick to hide the fact that Father Time is trying to catch up to us, but he can't, because we're on our spiritual journey. We're drinking our water. We're in the sun. We're doing all that good stuff. So we're going to delay the inevitable for as long as possible by wearing a durag. And the third reason is because sometimes we just don't feel like dealing with our hair. We don't feel like brushing our hair multiple times a day. We don't feel like having to moisturize our hair in a particularly dry, arid environment. So sometimes we'll just throw a durag on and call it a day. A durag does not mean that we are more gangster and more likely to steal, kill, or take from our own communities or take from you. That is a narrative that is being pushed by this demonic matrix to keep you at a low frequency and to keep us divided. This causes, like, black folks, when they go out wearing durags, you looking at them differently just because of what he's wearing on his head. It causes both people to fall victim to the to the matrix, because the black person's like, damn, they treat me different when I wear a durag. And then the white person's thinking, or whatever color you are, is thinking, oh man, this is a whole hoodlum. This is a Super Saiyan 2 hoodlum I'm dealing with here. He's wearing a durag in public. No. It does not represent how gangster we are. I know the Matrix. I know this demonic Matrix has showed you that in all the TV shows, all the movies you see. You always have the black antagonist. He's wearing the durag. Let alone, you'll never see a black anti-hero. You'll never see a black hero wearing a durag. And this is not an accident. They want you afraid of your melanated neighbor. They want you to see a random black man on the street wearing a durag, or a random black man in a grocery store wearing a durag, and they want you to judge him based off of that. This is not an accident. Like I said before, they want to keep us fearful, anxious, and divided. Break free from the matrix by paying very, very close attention to what influences you. You need to inspect your influences. I've told you this before. You need to ask yourself why you believe what you do believe. Do you believe it because somebody told you to? And if you do believe it because somebody told you to, ask yourself, what are their motives? What are they hoping to get out of this? What I believe, a lot of these demons that run this matrix want to keep us as divided and low vibrational as possible, because if we were to unite, and if we were to really love ourselves and really love our neighbors and love the life that we live, we'd realize we don't need these people telling us what to do. We don't need people telling us that they're so much smarter than us and they should be in charge. We wouldn't believe that, because we'd have the answers ourselves. We'd have the answers ourselves if we stayed in that present moment and stopped letting this matrix run things. If you're watching this, I truly believe, if you're one of the 12 people watching this, number one, thank you. Number two, I truly believe that you are capable of making this world a better place. But the only way you can do that is to really pay attention to what influences you, and really pay attention, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to sit in the present moment. Don't be afraid to smile at your neighbor. Don't be afraid to say what needs to be said in order to make this world a better place. You must continue to raise your vibration by having love within you. You must meditate. You must meditate on things. You must get in the sun. You must eat healthy. You must take care of this body, and everything else will fall into place. Trust me when I say that. Everything will fall into place as long as you raise your vibration. If anything is trying to lower your mood or make you feel fearful or make you feel anxious, I really need you to pay attention to what that thing is. I really need you to find their motives. I really need you to pay attention to why they would want you to feel this way. For all 12 of you that still watch my videos, I want to say thank you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I'm going to get on to you. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're applying that Champagne Throttle on your spiritual journey. Put your foot on the gas. Enjoy yourself. Smell the roses. Get in the sun. Until next time, you all take it easy. Peace.